I am no stranger to attempting to go viral on Scratch. 6 months ago, I failed to go viral on Scratch in 7 days, and after that, succeeded to go viral in 30 days. But I've already talked about those stories before. Instead, let me tell you about another story. A story where I tried to become the most viral Scratcher, competing with some of the best Scratchers I know over the course of 7 days.
Viper from the future here. I realized that I forgot to tell you that the metric we're going to be using to determine how viral each person went is going to be follows. So I just wanted to clear that up so there's no misunderstandings or anything.
On day 1, everyone hopped on a call. You're probably wondering who I'm competing with. Well, there are 3 other YouTubers, McTonk, Spart, and Otto, and we were all on the call. Everyone except me. I was actually busy and the account you're seeing wasn't me. It was McTonk's alt, so thanks McTonk.
Wow, Viper is so genius.
But anyways, when I finally got home, I was actually kind of panicking. Okay, we are already at a disadvantage. We've lost several hours already, and although it might not seem like a big deal, we only have 7 days. I've been in this situation before. Last time I did the going viral on Scratch in 7 days challenge, I didn't take this challenge as seriously as I should have, and I didn't use my time very well, and that's what made me fail. And I'm not going to let that happen to me again. I haven't said this publicly yet, but this is going to be the last video in the going viral on Scratch series, at least for a long time. That means that if I fail this time, I'm not going to have another chance to redeem myself. But anyways, to get followers, we need to make a game. And I've actually had this idea for a while, so let me tell you about it. It's a scrolling platformer, but the catch is, you have a balloon. You can use this balloon to launch yourself in different directions, so you can get to areas of the level that would have been previously impossible to get to. The name of the game will be Balloon, so let's go. But before we can actually start working on our game, we need to make an account. I made my account and called it Bluest Berry. I think it's a cute username. Anyways, right after making my new account, I began working on Balloon. I started off by stealing this Scratch Cow art from Griffpatch. I thought that this would be good because, honestly, Scratchy can fit his way into any game. But I had a change of heart when I had the idea of making the art for the game in a doodly style. In the original, I went viral on Scratch in 7 days video. The first game I made also had doodly art, so to honor this, I decided to make Balloon in this same art style. The next thing I did was make the scrolling platformer code, but there ended up being a lot of glitches with my scripts. So, to conserve time, I decided to use one of my old platforming engines from a few years ago. It seemed to work, so I guess we've solved our problem. The next thing I did was add an auto scroll. I decided to add this as it would make our game more intense and more unique. And then I realized something. We weren't allowed to use code that we made from before the challenge. That included my platforming engine. So now, we had just wasted a lot of our time. But I didn't let this discourage me, and I began progress on yet another scrolling platformer script. It worked okay, I guess. The next thing that I implemented into our game was the most important feature, the balloon. I coded it so that the balloon always follows the mouse. I also made a script that tracks which direction the balloon is in relation to the player. This is used to decide which direction the player is going to be launched in. It was at this time that I decided to make a timeline for this challenge. We will use this timeline to stay organized and manage our time well during these 7 days. The deadlines on the timeline can also help us stay motivated. So yeah, let's see what's on our timeline for today. Platforming engine, check. Balloon, check. Auto scroll, check. Main menu, we've got to do that one. So I started working on the main menu. As you can probably tell, it's quite simple, but it fits the style of our game perfectly. Before we go to bed tonight, I have something to tell you. When I succeeded the going viral on Scratch in 30 days challenge, it obviously felt good, at least for a little while. But then I remembered that I had still failed going viral on Scratch in just 7 days. And that's why I'm kinda glad to be making this video. This is the real redemption, becoming the most famous Scratcher in the original time limit. 7 days. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a really big concern for this challenge, and it's McTonk. If you don't remember, he's another contestant in this challenge, but there's something special about him. His thumbnails. His thumbnails are always way too good. But anyways, my fear is that he'll be able to get a lot of views thanks to his thumbnails. His thumbnails, plus the fact that most Scratch thumbnails suck, makes him a big threat for this challenge. But I know that I can't be in fear like this for the rest of the challenge. So let's see what we have in store for us today. So according to the timeline, we have to make the enemies, spikes, balloon poppers, and the first 5 levels for the game today. That's a lot, but we gotta keep working. Hopefully we will be able to finish everything and complete our schedule as planned. That would be awesome. When I opened up Scratch, I started playing around with the game, and I realized that there were bugs with my scrolling platformer scripts. I would have been able to fix it in an hour or so, but because I was lazy, I found a shortcut. We weren't allowed to use pre-made code, but we were allowed to use tutorials. So I made up my mind to follow Griffpatch's scrolling platformer tutorial series. Usually it takes people a few days, sometimes even a week or two to finish this tutorial series. But me, being the Sigma that I am, finished the entire series in only one day. I'm so cool. After finishing, I added the play art, balloon, main menu, and some other things from the old platforming scripts to the new platforming scripts. Watching the tutorials took a good chunk of my day, so I didn't have a lot of time left. I spent the short amount of time I had remaining making the first level for the game. It's pretty easy to beat, but that's intentional. It's supposed to teach you the core mechanics of the game, such as the balloon and the auto scroll. Well, it's getting late. I'm gonna sleep soon. But first, I need to tell you a way that you can get a shout out in my next video. That's right, that means that your name is going to be in my video. And that is through joining my channel membership. My channel membership not only includes the shout out, but also other cool members only perks, such as members only videos and early access to new content. Now, you're probably thinking that my membership is really expensive, but it's only $1. So if you could just spare me a little bit of pocket change, that would mean the world to me. So I realized that we're really behind schedule. Because we spent so much time making the platforming engine yesterday, we need to make up for a lot of work that we didn't do. So yesterday we had to make enemies, spikes, balloon poppers, and the first 5 levels for the game. All we ended up making was the first level for the game. So we basically got 0 work done. In addition to that, we also need to make the next 5 levels for the game along with the ending cutscene. That sounds fun, doesn't it? We have to lock in. I began by making an endpoint for levels. I decided it would be cool if I made the endpoint a door. So basically, once you hit the door, the idea is that you get teleported to the next level. I also made this cool animation that plays once you touch the door. I was actually pretty proud of this. The next thing that I worked on was the second level, but there was a problem. Whenever I tried to go through the door, the second level would load incorrectly. I spent such a long time trying to fix this. I searched through my code. I rewrote code. I even rewatched parts of Griffpatch's scrolling platformer tutorial. But alas, I found all the reason for my pain. A single typo. Like, I seriously spent that much time for a typo, but I was still glad that I had at least found the issue. With my code now working, I started working on the second level again, but it felt kinda empty, so I decided to add spikes. They just make the game a bit harder, but without them, our game would feel so much less lively, so they're a pretty good addition. But after finishing the spikes, I didn't really feel like making the rest of the second level, so I decided to take a quick break by adding in a tiny new feature. That feature was WASD controls. They only took a few minutes to make, but they helped make our game more comfortable for some users. After adding in the WASD controls, I finished the second level. It actually didn't take as long as I thought it would, so that was a W. Anyways, it was around this time that I decided to come up with the names for the levels in the game. I made really generic games because I had no creative juices, but the names don't really matter that much. Also, speaking of levels, I originally planned to make 10, but because I was really behind schedule, I decided to only make 5. After that, I stopped recording. We were still behind schedule, but I decided to let myself rest. But before I can rest, I still have to do one more thing. Extend my 7-day Brilliant streak. Thank you to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. Brilliant is where you learn by doing, with thousands of interactive lessons in math, data analysis, programming, and AI. I personally use Brilliant on a daily basis, and to show you why I love it, let me walk you through a lesson. This is their Thinking in Code course, if you're wondering. So as you can see, Brilliant has these interactive, hands-on lessons, and they're proven to be 6 times more effective than watching lecture videos. Okay, nice, I solved the problem. Brilliant also helps you develop your problem-solving skills, not through memorization, but through actual learning. Nice, another question down. Also, do you notice how I'm using Brilliant on my phone? Well, that's the thing that I love about Brilliant the most. Their courses are accessible on any device, and they're bite-sized. That means it's easy to make learning a daily habit. That's why I have my streak. Anyways, let me tell you more about the course that I'm following right now, Thinking in Code. Brilliant teaches you how to apply lessons in this course to real life. To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/Viper or click on the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Okay, my fellow snakes. So yesterday we were actually pretty behind schedule, but we actually caught up. We're still a little bit behind, so to catch up, I'm actually gonna get rid of a few things that I was going to add. I'm going to get rid of the balloon poppers and the ending cutscene. I feel like these features aren't really essential to our game, so that's why I removed them. You gotta understand that in challenges like this, since the time limit is so short, you gotta make compromises and you can't add everything that you want. Anyways, I think that things are starting to look up for us today, and we're on track to finishing Balloon, which is great. I started by making the third level. It was pretty easy actually. It was similar to the second level, but it was just a bit harder. The next thing that I added was enemies. These took a little while to code, and I'm pretty proud of them. Their main code is basically the same of that of the players. These guys are similar to spikes, but they are more dynamic as they move around. They just breathe life into our game. So yeah, and it was around this time that something big happened. Something that made my entire world turn upside down. Remember how I was talking about McTonk earlier? How he's a big threat to me right now? Well, he messaged me and he told me that he has 50 follows. There's a chance he's lying, but I feel like he's telling the truth. We're only around halfway into the challenge, and I need to do some serious catching up if I even want to think about winning this challenge. And we're not even factoring in the other YouTubers, Spart and Otto. For all I know, they could have just as many followers as McTonk. Did I already lose? I knew that I couldn't let everyone else win without a fight, so I continued working on Balloon. I started by adding in the last 2 levels for Balloon. I really rushed these 2 levels because I wanted to finish the project quickly to catch up. I didn't want to lose a single second of time. The next thing that I added to the game was the thumbnail. I rushed this as well. I spent some time adding in some finishing touches and playtesting the game to make sure that there weren't any bugs, glitches, and that everything was okay. But right when I was about to share the game, I found a glitch. I wanted to post the project, but I couldn't share it with a glitch, could I? But then again, if I tried to fix the bug, I'd be wasting a lot of time. I had to make a decision quickly. Right at that moment, I suddenly remembered why I was here. I was here to win. If I wanted to win, I had to do everything as quickly as possible. So I left the bug be and shared the project. I started promoting the game to as many people as I could. I needed to show everyone what I could do, and I surprisingly got some results. My first commenter on my game is this guy called Patrix. He's actually kind of famous, and I know him on my main account, so can everyone spam WPatrix in the comments? Because of this quick success, I thought that everything was going well, but I could never expect what would happen in the last 3 days of this challenge. I continued promoting Balloon just like I did yesterday. I added it to studios, I asked people for feedback, nothing too crazy. And everything was going well. I had racked up 6 followers, which might not seem like a lot, but it was good progress. I also had around 70 views, which was pretty good. Everything was going well, and I was hoping that I could catch up to the 50 followers that McTonk supposedly had. I was making good progress to that goal, until I reached the biggest setback of this challenge. I had been banned permanently. My account was also deleted. That meant that my game, Balloon, was gone as well. I had just lost everything. Everything I had worked for, everything that had been done in this entire video was for nothing. Scratch Team, with their horrible moderation, decided that they wanted to make me lose all hope of winning this challenge. And I thought that there was nothing I could do. Until I checked to see if Balloon had actually been deleted. I just wanted to make sure that the game was actually gone. And by some miracle, it was still there. The Scratch servers have been pretty laggy recently, and if it weren't for that, Balloon would have been deleted. I quickly saved the project file to my computer, and a few minutes later, the original Balloon project was deleted, as the Scratch servers caught up. If I was just a few minutes late, this entire challenge would have been over. And at that moment, I was just sitting there. I was in disbelief with what had just happened. I didn't know how to feel. It felt like everything that had happened so fast that my brain didn't even process what had happened yet. But soon, I started to feel something within me. Determination. I needed to finish what I had started. I needed to finish this challenge. I was at an even bigger disadvantage than I was before, but I knew that I couldn't give up. From this point on to the end of the challenge, I forgot about everything else. I didn't care about anything else. I needed to complete this challenge. I started by making a new account, shared Balloon on it, and continued promoting. Adding it to studios became my life. I got really tired of doing this, but I forced myself to go on. I didn't want to finish the series off with a loss. This is the last time I'll be doing this, I told myself. I need to keep going. I can't lose. I kept reminding myself of how I felt last time I lost.
I woke up on Saturday morning with anticipation and fear, genuinely not knowing how my project did. So I opened up Scratch, and let's just say that I failed this challenge.
I remembered how hard I worked to get where I was right now over the past few days. We need to make up for a lot of work that we didn't do. I thought about how I beat the 30 days challenge.
Oh yeah, and I went viral.
I reminded myself of all the stakes, everything that I would lose if I failed. I've been in this situation before. Last time I did the going viral on Scratch in 7 days challenge, I didn't take this challenge as seriously as I should have, and I didn't use my time very well. And that's what made me fail. And I'm not going to let that happen to me again. And I'm not going to let that happen to me again. And I'm not going to let that happen to me again. I am not going to let that happen to me again. I am not going to lose when I've come this far. I must finish this story off with a high note. I continued promoting my project until the very last minute. When it was finally time to hop on the call for the end of the challenge, I ended off with 40 follows. When we all hopped on a call, we made this wheel with all our usernames, and whoever it landed on had to show everyone their account, and the first person was McTonk. My heart was pounding, knowing that if he really had 50 follows, like he had said, he would have beat me in this challenge. He revealed his account, and as I expected, his thumbnails were absolutely insane. And what is that? 1,900 followers. I was about to call it quits. I thought that I had lost right then and there, but he was joking and he actually had 16 followers. This was a big moment for me. He was the main person I had been fearing for the entirety of this challenge, and I started to think that it was possible that I could win this. The next person who revealed their account was me. You probably don't need to see that. However, after I revealed my account, I started to get paranoid about the others. What if they had beat me? When the wheel rolled, it landed on Spart. This guy kinda scares me. He's an education Scratch YouTuber, and he has a few videos talking about advice on how to go viral. That means that this guy knows his stuff. But when he revealed how many followers he had 22. I was still winning. Now all that was left between me and success was the last Scratch tuber, Otto. If I just beat him, I would have completed this challenge once and for all. All my hard work would have paid off. But if he had even one more follower than me, my dreams would be crushed, and I would have no chance of ever redeeming myself. So, did I win? Yes, I did win. I had won. This was such a crazy journey, and I would like to thank all the other Scratch tubers who competed in this video with me, and especially McTonk for hosting this challenge. I would also like to thank you guys for supporting me throughout the Going Viral on Scratch series. It's been a real pleasure to make these videos. But before we do anything else, I need to show you Balloon.
Jump, jump balloon, jump balloon, jump death, jump balloon, jump balloon, jump balloon, jump, jump balloon, win. Jump balloon, jump balloon, jump balloon, jump balloon, jump, jump, win. Jump balloon, jump balloon. Jump balloon, jump, jump, jump balloon, jump, jump, jump balloon, win. Jump balloon, jump, jump balloon. Jump balloon, jump, jump balloon, jump, jump balloon, win. Jump balloon, jump balloon, death. Jump balloon, Jump balloon. Death. Jump balloon. Jump balloon. Jump balloon. Jump. Jump balloon. Jump, 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 jump. Jump balloon. Jump balloon. Jump balloon. Win.
So yeah, this is the story of one crazy guy's journey to become famous. Also, don't forget to join my membership to get a shout out at the end of my next video. It'd really mean the world to me. I don't really know how to end this video, so I'll just say goodbye.